Um, Welcome everyone to Team Time. It is the last Team Time of November. Next week starts the last month of the year. Can you believe that 2018 is already almost over? I remember when I used to write checks. It took me 6 months to write the right year on the checks. I still, whenever I have to do dates, I'm always off about 6 months. So it'll be 6 months of 2018 when we finally get into 2019. So I know Natalie, do you have to get off here in just a short time?
Yes,
Okay.
I have a health assessment.
All right. So I know David had asked you to do something. I will let David come on real quick and introduce the first topic before we get into anything else here, because I know you have to run. So David, take it away.
Sure. So I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a challenge, the second week of November, that we were going to basically get as many Coach Explore calls as we could for the rest of November. And every time you had a Coach Explore call, we would give you $25. And you could put it in your own bank account and do whatever you want. So a few people have taken us up on that, and Natalie is one of them who has had quite a bit of success in just getting people on the call. So what I want to do is, we still have a few more days in November, so we want to encourage everyone to be able to ask as many people and get as many people as you can on a call, on a Coach Explore call, and see if it would be a good fit. So Natalie, if you could just give a few tips on kind of what you learned and what has been helpful for you.
Well, hi guys. The first thing is, I really had to get comfortable doing uncomfortable things. I had just joking around with Heidi one day. I had mentioned, like, oh, I'm so left brain, like it's really hard for me to drip coaching, because that's not naturally what I do. But then I thought about my situation and what health coaching has done for me financially. And the next thought that came to mind is, who am I not to offer this to somebody else who could potentially want it? So it was just a whirlwind of things. And once I started dripping, I got a lot of no's, and that's okay. And what I learned next is that no doesn't mean no. It just means not right now. So, and those are all things I knew that I'd heard in the trainings and stuff, and they're true. And so, what do you know? So, actually, the last Coach Explorer that I did, she asked me, someone I never would have thought. And, sometimes, like, my health coach happens to be one of my best friends, which is Tanya. For her, it was really simple. Hey, cousin, check this out. I'm doing this. But that doesn't necessarily happen with people that we don't know very well. So I think that's when it gets complicated. But just dripping, not closing that avenue, because you don't know. You don't know what their life is like. You don't know how this could financially help somebody. For me now, it's my daycare and a car payment. That's huge. So anyway,
so
that's all.
Question, Natalie. So how did you get him on a call? What'd you do to get him actually on a call? How did you drip?
So there was this guy on Facebook, and I did a live video. I can't remember his name, but it was really helpful. It was something like, what happens after you say you want to learn more about the program. So we just had very short, for this last example, she called and said, hey, I'd like to know more about this. I said, oh, great. We get on a Zoom, like we do celebrations and everything else. It's the same feel. But this time, instead of celebrating, we're talking a little bit about what coaching looks like. And the next question is, well, how long does that take? So Heidi has been very consistent in keeping those to 30 minutes, because nobody, unless it's somebody who really wants to go in depth, but usually that's more than enough time for them to know if this is something they want to do or not.
Great. So when you, so how did you get somebody who didn't reach out to you? Or did you do something to get them to reach out to you?
Just the dripping, really. I mean, you can't, like, as much as we want to barf it on, like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, you should really, really consider doing this. I can't do that because it is. To me, it has been amazing, and it's just little by little, and it's just the same. It's the same thing as coaching. All of those people that said no 3 months ago are now coming, wanting, hey, okay, now I'm ready. So it's the same thing with coaching, just dripping it here and there. And for some people that can be very direct, and for others, it's, you just know, you know how to read your client better than anybody else. So you know what works for them. But yeah, just dripping.
And Natalie, and you don't have to answer this question actually, because it's just going to be a comment more than a question, but she had more health coach explore calls than anyone else that I know of this month. And it was probably upwards of 3 or 4 or 5. I don't remember. And I don't know who became coaches or not, because that wasn't my focus. Our focus was just getting people on the phone. And I didn't know if she was just telling her friends, hey, jump on this call, I'll get $25 for your half an hour. Like, I didn't know what she was doing, but she was bringing me people. And I was like, go girl. And she, whether or not like she regained revenue that she needed in November or anything like that, wasn't the point. But she took those wins, and she was winning this month. So if any of you want like a little bit extra cash, just get us on the phone. I only have a couple days before I go to Intentionality Summit. Woo!
And then we'll let David do them all. David and Tiana can do them all, because Tiana's staying home too, so they got it covered while we're gone, Heidi.
Yeah, well, I'll bring my kids on the call and say, look, you get to stay home and spend time with your kids.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Natalie, so much, because it really does. I'm listening to another book, and this is a section that I actually want to bring into our team time is, what is your personal growth for the week? And I would love for people to bring out what they're reading, okay? So one of the things that I do is I go on a walk in the morning, and I turn my phone, my Audible on. And after I turn my Audible account on, I go straight to my notes. So my notes is on while I'm listening to my Audible. Well, what happens is when I'm walking away and I hear something on my Audible that I love, I push the microphone. I have an iPhone, so I don't know how it works on Android, sorry. But I push the microphone, and it automatically stops where I was listening, and I can talk right into my phone and write my notes down, talk my notes really quick for what I'm doing. So I'm actually finishing a book that I started a long time ago, Be Obsessed or Be Average. Okay, there was parts of it that I didn't 100% agree with, but I wanted to finish the book because it was in my thing, and it said unfinished. So I have to finish it. So I'm almost done with it now. But one of the things that I love where I'm at right now, because he talks about people, us attracting people. Okay, I just want to read a couple of the quotes just from this morning. He says, are you being a lighthouse or are you being a tugboat? Okay, are we shining forth that what people want from, or what we have people want? Or are we being a tugboat trying to pull people to us? And that was like, oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, so many times we're like, oh, I need a coach, I need a coach, I need a coach. I need a client, I need a client, I need a client. Well, are we shining that light out there? Are we being that lighthouse, or are we being the tugboat? The next thing he said is, look for people who are motivated for more than just money. Look for those who want to change something and not just receive a paycheck. So I know that we all are on here. We all would like to receive a little bit of funds back, but are you willing, and are the people that you're looking at willing to work for a purpose? And that's really what our drive is if you have that purpose, you have a purpose of, you know what, I got healthy and all I want to do is really help somebody else. And in turn, I get rewarded. Great. You're going to have somebody that can work even if the times get hard. Even because their purpose is there in November and December when volumes go down a little bit sometimes, they're still going to work because they know that there's something around the corner for them. Okay, so just let's take like 5 minutes here real quick about a personal development book or quote that you guys have come up with or that you guys can remember out of your reading or listening to in just the last week or so. Can anybody come up with anything? Is anybody reading anything?
I just got told about a book that I'm going to start reading.
What's that?
It's called Never Eat Alone.
Okay.
And it's basically a book about networking and the conversations you're having and the importance of not like there are opportunities available. Sorry. There are opportunities available that we're missing sometimes, like eating alone. If you're going and like doing something like eating, which is a opportunity to like share and network with other people, the book basically talks about how to take advantage of every opportunity to network and have those kinds of conversations. So that's what I will be reading.
I love that idea. I love that idea because, I mean, how many times have you ever gone to a smorgasbord dinner place where you sit at just a big picnic table and they're just trying to throw as many people as they can on one table? So you could be sitting next to 10 different people. Have you ever done those? Has anybody ever done one of those?
Like a teriyaki steakhouse where they put everyone around a benihana?
Yeah, similar. They do them a lot in the South. They do them like in the Tennessee area a lot.
Like on a cruise, you get to sit with a bunch of people at a table.
Cruise, exactly. Well, you learn about those people, and all of a sudden, you became part of their life. And I can remember people that I've sat at those types of tables with, and I put a dot in their life, and they put a dot in my life. So I love that, Chrissy. Okay, a couple more. Who else is reading something fun right now?
Well, can I share? I mean, I can't say I'm reading. This is called The 10 Basic Principles of Good Parenting, and I'm not actually reading it, but from that idea, I took a class where they were sharing information. Basically, this one's not directed at autism, but the class I was taking was for becoming a better parent to autistic children. And you just anything you can learn. See, I feel like sometimes I do know a lot of things because I have a teaching background but I don't know everything, and I don't know how to parent every situation. And so I find that I reach out to people for a lot of my information more than books just because of my circumstance. And so reaching out to this course helped me. And I'd say that there's lots of things they said and shared, but I didn't have one particular quote, but I have one example I'd like to share. And they had said, like, you know, giving, like, for example, if you're going to give a kid the instruction to wait, that like you can put a little wait sign for, you know, like 3 of them and just say, we're going to wait until these 3 are gone. Okay, it's been 3 minutes, and you take one away, and then, hey, it's been 3 more minutes. Now you only have 3 more minutes, and just kind of, you know, give them a visual. And so I'm all about visuals, and that was one little takeaway. Kind of cool, kind of random, but it's all about growing ourselves.
I don't think there's a such thing as a bad self-help book at all. You're going to pull out of it what you need, and you're going to put it into all walks of life, all your different walks of life. Okay, let's do one more.
I'll share one.
Beth, please.
Yeah. I've been reading this little book, and it came off of somebody's list. It might have been yours, Skill with People. It's just a little bitty booklet. And one of the things that I really liked was it talks about taking 4 words out of your vocabulary: I, me, my, and mine, and replacing them with you, and be more mindful about others and helping others to feel more important. And I really like that.
that is a huge mind shift. If you can take that, the need, the me out of it, that's going to be a huge mind shift for when you start talking to people. Because you put, just like you said, Beth, you're going to start putting the focus on them rather than the focus on me, or I. So you start looking to see, what can we do to benefit them? And I think that is one of the things that as a whole, we want to make sure that we're always there to benefit them. Julianne says, what book was that? What was it called?
It's called Skill with People by Les Giblin.
Okay, that's going to have to go on our list because that's not one from me. Okay, so, but that goes into kind of what one of the things that Heidi and I were talking about today about what can we do to help other people and to retain more people, okay? We can't force people to do the program, can we? I mean, you probably, oh, Tanya's got it right there too. Where did you guys hear that one from? Is that one a Becca Tinter one?
Charlene did a training, and I remember she mentioned it, and so I put it on my list.
I was going to say it was either Charlene or Doug Woods, one of the two. So
I just put 10 books. I just ordered 10 books from Amazon today because I enjoy the heck out of reading when I do. So my goal is to read one every couple of weeks. Okay. But retention. Who feels like they are really good at retaining clients? I see a lot of head shakes. So let me ask another question. Who is glad when some of those clients leave? Okay, I can't be the only one that has those people that you're tugging along. Okay? And sometimes you're just like, okay, you know what? I'm helping you just for one more person on my team right now, or one more person to help me out. Okay? So is it about them or is it about us? But on the other hand, do they really want it, or are they just kind of dragging along hoping that what we do for them is going to be the miracle cure? So once upon a time, I sound like I'm going to tell you guys a story. My sister started this program with us, and she was one of my very first coaches. And if you guys, any of you know Tony Kirkham, she was actually a client under my sister. So my sister was actually me, my sister, my other sister, and then Tony. So Tony was 3 levels deep for me under my sister. My sister had 3 people quit in one day. She was running an executive director business, but a husband, a wife, and a sister all quit at one time. And she took that so personal that she was the failure. And that she stopped coaching because of that. Well, whose fault was that? Was it her fault for not being a good coach? No. Those 3 people weren't ready for it at the time. We are in the heart of gluttony right now. Everybody's got their Christmas parties, and they might have 3 or 4 or 5 of them. So right this minute is not going to be the best time to say, you know what, I'm a failure because people are quitting. But you know what? Those people are feeling like crud if they were on the program good. And now, you know what? Next month, they're going to be ready to feel good. So make sure that you're keeping up with them. Continue to coach them even though they don't want to be coached. Give them a phone call, 5-minute message. Do Heidi's Marco Polo. Give them, I mean, they can't stop you from giving them a Marco Polo video real quick. So just give them a quick video and just say, hey, how are you? And if they want to respond back, great. If they don't, no skin off your back. Cherie, you got your hand up. You there?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, great. So I'm reading a book it's actually a couple of books, but one of them quoted Steve Jobs: "Great things in business are never done by one person, they're done by a team of people."
Yes.
And, you know, I'm sorry, Hiram, but I want to bring up something that is not hearts and flowers. I just think that we should all work together. And I just have, I'm having a stumbling block when it comes to gathering coaches, because I don't feel that, that not everybody is on, you know, I don't know. I just feel like I shouldn't have to ask people when I have a new client to congratulate them. Before I went to convention, a lot of people, you know, would comment on others, you know, like my clients and other clients, and now it's just the same people. And I think we need to all, you know, cheer each other on, and I don't see that a lot. Okay, I see that from you. I see that from people that are, I don't know. I don't know how to word it without sounding ridiculous, but
I understand what you're saying, where we do, I mean, our group pages need to have interaction.
Yeah, and I just think it's the same people that, you know, I have a few people that comment on, and I've been working hard. And, you know, I went to a church thing, Pastor Rick Warren, and he said one time, if you're in a group and, you know, there's always that one person in a group, and if you don't know who that is, that's annoying, then it's probably you. And so if that's me, that I can take it. But when I bring on new people, I'm not feeling the love. I don't. And I'm sorry to bring up this, but I'm working hard too. And if you don't like me and you like Heidi, I'm affecting her bottom line too. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I totally understand. And I think that's something us here, okay, out of I mean, I can't say all of my coaches, because I have lots of different groups going in different areas. But in our organization, you might see, let's say, a high number of 10% of community of the coaches actually getting onto this call, let's say. And I would say that's probably even a high number of the coaches that are even in Heidi and I's organization that should be on here. We maybe have 10%. So in the same aspect, what can we do as a group to retain the coaches that are already coaches, the clients that are already clients? Let's brainstorm with that for the last couple of minutes. Heidi, do you have anything on that?
Well, I think, at least from my perspective, it's all about enjoying the moment and making sure. One thing that we could do is making sure that, you know, we have quality team times so people want to be on here. And so that's something that maybe we could think about. And, you know, we think we're doing a pretty good job, but we just don't want to be average quality team times, right? We want to be, you know, cream of the crop, to where people are like, well, I can't believe, you know, they're just sitting there quoting Hiram for the next 2 weeks. That's what we want. So
yeah.
So I think from our perspective, coaches, that's something we can do, and also giving opportunities for our team members to lead, which is something that was mentioned. So I think we did a pretty good job getting all of, you know, when we invited coaches to share your transformations, you know, people had never been on here, and given the opportunity at least to share and feel comfortable.
So I'll just real quick, there's two places where I'm going to try and teach something, but maybe you already know, so please don't be like, oh my gosh, Heidi, we're not babies. But there's two places where we can cheer on each other's clients. One is on our own personal Facebook pages. If we share something, sometimes we want people to go cheer us on there, which it hasn't been discouraged, but coach interaction is a little bit, I don't know if discouraged is the right word, but that if you have when my Facebook feed, all I see is coaches right now. I need to go and talk to my people that aren't coaches to get them to fill my feed so they'll see my posts, or I won't grow. You know what I mean? So in my own personal space, that's one thing. But in like the team page, if, for example, if Cherie, since this is the one in reference, if she goes in and says, please welcome this client, blah, 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 and then we all go in and say, woo, welcome, or you lost 10 pounds, congratulations. Like, okay, we can all do that. There's no reason that we couldn't or shouldn't. It is hard for one or two people to run the page. Yeah. To you guys only for those couple people to be cheerleaders. And I think, so Cherie, let me know if I misunderstand, but that's what you're talking about. And so you would be right. I remember not having assignments, but kind of almost assigning days to people, saying like, on Wednesday, can you go check the page? And you be commenting, because Heidi alone can't do that all. And there's not that many administrators, right? Hiram, is there a specific way you have done this in the past?
So we have, I mean, we've never really done an assignment of this is your day to check the page, as much as this is your day to start Transformation Tuesday or Water Wednesday or Thankful Thursday or whatever it is that we have set. That's something that probably needs to be implemented again, because after a while, if you don't have those things, all of a sudden nobody's doing any of them, and then they're all going away. Yeah. But if I love how Julianne just said that that's one of the things that she's put on her list of things to do, is just to go on the community page and like and comment. You know what? Make a goal of doing it let's say 5 people, and not just your own people. I mean, you're going to get notified when your people post, but you're probably not going to get notified if somebody else's people post. So go through there, and if they're not a coach and they're commenting, they're probably a pretty good coach candidate if they're being on there. So, Cherie, thank you for bringing that up, because it is something that we all need to be careful about, and jump in there when that's being said. When a client has the nerve, if you want to say, to comment on there, they want to say something, and they want the recognition. They want the recognition. So especially if you see that there's a client on there, make sure that you jump in there. Sherry, sorry. Do you want to say something real quick?
You got to come off mute.
You're on mute. I got you.
So a couple things. I'm in some really intense vaccine Facebook groups about Facebook with groups in Sri. You should know that Facebook dropped some code about a month ago. And it might not feed completely into this, but it's literally doing phantom posting of your post. So even though you post something, I can go scroll the page. I will not see it, because you and I don't have an outside relationship outside of that group page. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, I see a post that has 50 comments, but I'd scrolled the day before and it's not there. They're fixing the code, but they dropped something that was pretty catastrophic unless you already have a relationship built with that person. And so that's part of it that isn't so much in our control, because even if I went and scrolled the coach's page, unless I have a relationship with you outside of that page, there's nothing for me to comment on. And then when, like, all of a sudden one of my people that I am friends with shows up in that feed, I can then see it. It's bizarre, and it's happening across the board. They know they fix code on Tuesdays. We're hoping that like tomorrow, but part of it isn't just like an ignoring of not being supportive, but that Facebook isn't showing us. Because it's shocking how much I miss, even though I go scrolling and searching, but there are very few, because I'm new to this, that I actually have like street cred with Facebook. Does that make sense? So just know it's not just you, and it's not everybody ignoring, but a lot of it is Facebook and their algorithms and what is out there right now. And the word that I got in my group that I'm in this morning that is all about how to negotiate Facebook and run a business with Facebook with what they're doing is they are well aware. They've been trying to fix it for a couple weeks now, and they're hoping that another fix will implement tomorrow where I can see your stuff. Because I do try like to scroll the page every other day to see what have I missed and who can I support and cheerlead, just because we all need cheerleading. And it's shocking that I just have the same post over and over again. I don't have anything new because it's people that
I have to make sure that I pull my screen down and reset my screen, or it's every single time I go on Facebook the whole day, it'll show me the same post, same order, everything, unless I pull it down and manually reset my phone every time. So we're already over time here, but I do want to say we are the lifeblood of our coaches pages and our client pages. So if we're not there doing that, it's not getting done. And so the life of that page is going to start dwindling. So make sure that you get in there as much as you can and are commenting within reason. You know, you guys, I mean, we can't us only be there the whole time. Heidi.
Right. I love that this is brought up, and also it is important to remember, in Highway to Health there was like 6,000 people, and in our personal group, Cherie, we only have like 600. So just also, there's no emergencies in health coaching, so everyone give people a minute. But if you guys could do kind of what Julianne said and what everyone's, I think, in agreement here, you put it on your calendar and just remind yourself to go to that group and check it out. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, last minute questions really quick. Anybody have any questions that they would like to bring up? All right, we will adjourn until next Monday. Heidi and I will be out of communication from Wednesday till Sunday probably. I fly back on Sunday. So if you do have something that needs to be done, make sure you contact David or Tiana on our sides, and or just know that we're not going to have our phones readily available. And I know quite a few of you are going with us, and so we will see you on Wednesday or Thursday whenever you guys all get in. So we are super excited. We will adjourn till next Monday. And just a little side note, I sign on my house tomorrow. Yay! So finally, we're so excited. We're so excited. So I gotta make sure I balance my life with remodeling now. My business with remodeling. All right, everyone. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.